Hello people of micro builds. So in a previous video, I have showed this clock, which was really just a side note, but the main focus of that video was this. Sorry that video was very quick and brief. I'm going to do my best to try to go over this again, this time with more time. See, my friend was over and it was kind of just convenient at the time for him to help me with the video, which he gratefully agreed to. I'm very grateful for him for helping me, but so I'll try to do another video on that with a little more time and a better battery life on my phone, which is my primary camera for this channel. For a Galaxy Note 8, it's not a bad camera. So anyway, the main focus is not this, so I'm going to switch this off. And the main focus is also not this. But remember when I showed you that sneak peek, and I went and said something very cringy, which I believe was Zeep. Oh God, how cringe that was. Yeah, that was just called I'm in a rush and a crunch for time, and couldn't think of anything better to say. So, due to lack of better words, here you go. These are what these tubes are. I've been waiting forever to make a video about these, but it's been a lot of tweaking, tuning the voltages. I think these tubes use anywhere from 200 to 250 volts. And this is DC. Funny story, that's an electric fence transformer, and I shocked myself with the not-so-sunny side of that thing. The unrectified output, 250 volts AC, straight across the middle finger. Anyway, so this doorbell wire, for once, actually has to do what we're talking about. It had nothing to do with this, but plenty to do with this. In fact, this is the heart of these things. No offense, tubes. You look great. This camera doesn't make you look fat, okay? You good? Okay, that's good. Great. Okay, so, these are called cat's eye tubes, and it's kind of ironic, because when I hook them up and they're not running in stereo, so they're all running on one audio signal, or maybe I'm playing a 60 hertz tone through them, they kind of close up a little bit on their beams, and it kind of looks like a cat staring into your soul, and it's horrifying. Just kidding, no it's not, but it kind of looks similar. Anyway, let's get started into this video, and I will explain everything about these tubes in hopefully under 12 minutes. Let's go. Okay, so, hello, welcome to Microbuild. So, I was, just before we get started, for real this time, I've been looking at my analytics, and I've noticed, the impressions click-through rate of a 3-minute video, on average, was people watching only a third of it. Yes, I get it. It was cringy at first because I was in a crunch for time, but I really hope you consider watching this video to the end. Now, for real, let's get started this time. So, here we go. Okay, so here around back of this tube, we have, let me get, Jeffrey the screwdriver. I'm trying to settle on a name. I think I'm just going to call him Jeffrey. Where did I put Jeffrey? He's here somewhere. God, I'm unprepared. Here he is. So over here, I'm trying very hard not to knock those nibs with my screwdriver, or these tubes go, yeah, they go bye-bye. And that would be bad, because these tubes are $30 a piece. Who'd have thought? Surprisingly, I don't think Amazon realizes the value of these tubes and is selling them for $9 a piece. Still, I don't want to take my chances and break a piece of history. That would be tragic. So anyway, I'm gonna switch hands for a second. Here we go. Maybe? Yes? Okay. So, I'm actually just gonna point with my fingers. You know what? Sorry, Jeffrey, but you're being useless. I cannot coordinate you through the camera. So, way back there, this little thing there is also very warm because the tubes were just on when I was shooting the intro, which was 2 seconds ago. Just kidding. No, it wasn't. It was like 2 minutes. So anyway, this tube's very warm, but that thing back there, that little, I'll zoom in on it. The thing on the center of your screen, that little, like, misshapen triangle is, the heater. So there's a little tungsten wire going through it, and it's just like a light bulb. There's no gas in it, And believe it or not, though light bulbs don't technically classify as vacuum tubes, they technically are, because they have the heater situation, they generate negative electrons, and they serve a useful function as an indicator, which is what these tubes do. So anyway, they have what is basically a light bulb sharing the same vacuum as as a vacuum tube. So that's the heater, and that's going to heat up the electron gun, which is that rectangle bit in the back of the tube. God, this is hard to film. So that little block back there is the electron gun, which is heated by the heater. I know, how ironic. So, and then this little triangle thing that kind of looks like a speaker cone is the, well, I'm not actually sure what that's called, but unlike the CRT this is modeled after, it doesn't, like unlike the CRT this is modeled after, this does not use, God, I should have had a script. So this doesn't scan back and forth across this phosphor, and also good that would do because there's not enough phosphor on these tubes to make a picture, and strangely enough, that's actually not what these are for. Yes, these are technically CRTs. The proper name is Magic Eye Tube, and the specific model number, which is the 6E2. Yes, it's the 6E2. I don't know what brand these tubes are. I know they're somewhere from Japan. But, so these tubes are Toyo, I think. Yes. No, they're not. Okay, so, there's some Japanese brand, I know that much. And, they're 6E2s. And as you could probably tell by the intro, maybe, I don't know. See, I'm a little bit colorblind, or like a lot of bit, so I can't actually tell the different shades of green that are going through the tube over the camera, so I can't actually tell how well it's showing up. But I found that close-ups make it a little bit of a higher contrast, so I'll see if I can get a good shot for y'all. So anyway, the heater heats up the electron gun, which is charged to 250 volts. The heaters make negative electrons, and then there's a grid just behind that phosphor strip on the glass, and it's charged to 250 volts positive. And because opposites attract, then the negative electrons from the heater fly towards the grid, which goes to the target, which is also charged positive 250 volts. So all of these electrons are slinging to the grid, and the targets are also charged, so it basically zips straight past the grid and gets accelerated and then goes even faster till it hits the phosphor strip in a shotgun effect. Now, the reason there's a dark space between the top block, the bottom block on both tubes is because there's this little thing called the deflection electrode, which, because of this module that I assembled, you can get this on Amazon for $15 plus the tubes, which is a pretty good deal. There's not many ratings because people think that because Amazon wants $27 for a driver like this, I actually built most of this. The only things that came with it is this, the tubes, and a little bit of colored wire. So that's basically all that came with the kit. But Amazon wants something that doesn't have the high voltage module, only has one tube, only does VU in mono, and can literally just accomplish half the setup. They want $27 for it. So people are getting kind of skeptical of this kit, and I was also pretty skeptical, but I'm like, it's $15. Amazon does free returns within a 30-day period. I mean, what have I got to lose other than time? It was summer break, so I was like, you know what the heck? Let's go. So I bought the tubes, I bought the driver, I assembled the driver, and some finagling later finally got the tubes into the sockets, soldered everything up, mounted it to the board, tuned it, bought this electric fence transformer, which I brutally shocked myself with on accident, tuned it to 200 volts, got this little module that uses this little 12 volt 1 amp wall adapter, which is right there, and it comes up here. It splits off for both the transformer and the little buck converter over there, which takes the 12 volts and converts it to 6. Technically, I could have used a voltage divider, but these tubes are delicate, and I'm trying to use it regulated in case something goes wrong with the supply and it starts putting out way more than it's supposed to. So, like I was saying, it slings towards the phosphor, but there's this little electrode in there, and it's called the deflection electrode. It's held negative by this little board until an audio signal is given. And then the audio signal is a positive charge. So it basically closes up that beam. And the shotgun effect, instead of spreading out, because of that deflection electrode, the electrons from the heater don't want to be anywhere near that electrode, so they're just kind of avoiding it at all costs. So, but then when you start charging it positive, I guess, we'll just say for now that the deflection electrode becomes a much nicer to be around person, and the electrons kind of come back and fill in the void like they're supposed to, and they kind of dance to the audio. So that's a really nice thing to look at. So without further ado, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to turn these on, and the deflection electrode takes a minute to heat up because everything on the shelf has to turn on, and the electrons don't give a rat's behind about the deflection electrode until the heaters are completely heated up and the electron gun is fully charged. But until then, they couldn't care less what's negative or what's positive or if they have an audio signal or not. So, they're actually going to start as a completed bar, and then there's going to be 2 really bright spots. Those are going to disappear, and they're going to spread open, and then they're going to just be their normal selves. I'm going to switch on the stereo over there, and then we'll have some fun. So, just a second. Okay, so this is the point where Big Clive would have said, "1 moment, please." I just don't know why. It's just something neat that he says, and it kind of makes the time feel like it goes by shorter. So, it's weird. These tubes like opening faster than one another. It kind of switches every now and then. It used to be this one would be really, really slow and take forever to turn on. But now this one's hogging some of the voltage and then giving this one a little bit less. Or maybe it's down to a current problem. These tubes only need 5 milliamps, but 30 if you add in the heaters. But the actual electron gun only needs 5 milliamps. So I think this one's kind of depriving the other one of some. And now it's a little brighter. Anyway, so now they're both heated. They're both warmed up. I'm going to switch on the stereo. I have it tuned into 97.1 The River, which is some slow rock, country music. Stuff like that. Here we go. And it appears it's something by the Doobie Brothers. So, they just oscillate and they look just so gorgeous. I don't know how well it comes across the camera, but this is just the pride and joy of playing with these vacuum tubes. Everybody who sees these is just so impressed. And the best part is I get to say I built all this. It's just so great. Also, that might be a song by Journey. I don't know. I couldn't tell who was singing. Anyway, the shelf over here, I did that brief whoop. So, yeah, that doorbell wire that had nothing to do with this shelf is coming from the back of those speakers over there. So the speakers are still making sound, but I'm kind of stealing some of the voltage, and I have it hooked around here. So this doorbell wire, yes, technically has nothing to do with this shelf, but has just about everything to do with this one. So there's a really annoying blue indicator on this board. You can kind of see it shining on the back of that capacitor. I put some electrical tape over it so it's not so visible in a dark room because it drowns out the tube. Also, fun fact, when a CRT tube of any kind, especially these magic eye tubes, starts glowing blue, that means the vacuum's been broken, there's a lot of corona discharge going on when there's not supposed to be, and your tubes went bad. That means your tubes have gone gaseous and the gun's not going to work right. So, these are actually real porcelain sockets, which was very surprising coming off of Amazon for $15, 2 tubes and the driver. I'm just like, wow, that's some really good quality right there. And these were really clamped down. I actually had to wedge them open a little bit with a screwdriver to get the tubes to fit. But these are some really high quality, new old stock tubes from Japan and brand new porcelain sockets. And then I have just some PCB spacers, which are not even in the slightest. So, this is just the pride and joy of these tubes. It's just, they're so gorgeous. This is why I play with these things. It's just, there's something so mesmerizing about them, especially if you see them in person. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but in person there's a very big contrast before, like, with this almost like whitish kind of green color. It looks kind of white to me, but to everybody else it's a really, really bright green color. So, they're just so gorgeous. Up until I shocked myself with it and actually got these tubes running, I ain't seen anything this just beautiful to look at. No offense to you. Sorry. You look nice too, but you broke my wallet, so yeah, you're in timeout for now. Oh, the radio just said that song was by Journey, so there you go. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching Microbuilds. Again, big thank you to everybody who watched this video to the end. And for those of you who enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss my new videos. Because I have no clue if that's going to be a regular thing or just when I have stuff to show you on the internet. I try to make it as often as possible so my channel doesn't ever get too boring. I also deleted some of those Hello Internet videos because they were kind of annoying and useless. So I deleted those. I left the last one, which still has junk audio, but it's better than it was. But, anyway, so I just have soon to be 3 videos, including this one, on my channel, and the titles are Hello Internet Take 3 because the first 2 were garbage. The second one is a very quick review of this, and I'll have to do a longer lasting one for that tube. And then the third one is obviously going to be this one. I don't know what I'm actually going to, I don't know what I'm going to title this. Probably the history of the cat's eye tubes, or maybe not, because I didn't actually explain the history. I know these were made in the 1920s, if that helps anybody, just to figure out when these were from. Most of the time, they actually weren't used for VU meters. They were actually, they were rotated on their sides to be like this, and they would actually kind of close like this and show how tuned in you were to a radio. But that's not the point. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's watched my video to the end. We're coming up on 20 minutes here, so before it takes an hour for YouTube to upload this, just wanted to say thank you. I hope you enjoy the videos. I'll be doing a better review on this and also explain the backstory behind this clock. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and I'm just going to turn on all the little gadgets so you can just see everything working just before I sign off the video. So anyway, one last thank you to all my friends at Microbuild, all 5 of my subscribers, all the people who have viewed my videos, even those who haven't watched it to the end. Thank you for all your support, and I hope to be making my videos improved, and I'll try to make them better and a little bit more enjoyable. So, anyway, without further ado, my name's Christian, this is Microbuild, and thanks for watching.